central London today to present Sir David Attenborough with his naturalist badge to celebrate Scouting's birthday in recognition of the thousands of children he's inspired through his TV work in the natural environment. So, Sir David, you were a scout as a young person. What would you say was the best bit?
I was a scout in Leicester and a cub, and I expect you think yours is the best troop in the world, and I think mine's the best troop in the world. And I think, it was a terrific group, and we had great times. It was during the war, of course, a bit, and but we went on camps. Some of the camps I did, I remember to this day very vividly. There was a disused railway line in the countryside somewhere with all overgrown with trees, and I remember creeping up one side of it, because I knew I was hidden from the other side behind the scout. And I remember the starlight, I remember the sound of owls, and I remember the sound of the night.
Yes, it's always so much closer when it's a night like that.
It was silly, and it's just remarkable, really. It didn't really get to my age that you realise how vivid the experiences you are when you're 12, 14, 16, and how they stay with you forever.
So tell me, is it true that you met Lord Robert Baden-Powell?
Yeah, it was either 1934 or 33. And it was, I was 7 coming up to 8. And I just joined the Cubs. And I think I was only about that high. And there was a big jamboree in Leicester. And I think just because I was about the smallest kid around, I was asked to lead Sir Robert Baden-Powell onto the podium for him to address the trunk. And it was a great moment for me, really. I only wish I had a picture of it, but I don't.
How important do you think the outdoors is for young people today?
I think there's a fashionable view amongst old blokes like me that somehow the youth of today is obsessed with computers or video games or whatever. I don't actually believe it. I think you are just as interested in looking at a dragonfly come out of its pupa as I am,
And we'd like to present you with your naturalist badge, Sir David, as a way of saying thank you for all the inspiration you've given to thousands of young people with your books and your TV series. Thank you very much.
Good.
So thank you very much.
Thank you. I'm not sure where I'm going to wear it.
I've got a little one.
We're just slightly more practical. Thank you.
You're very kind. Thank you very much.
I was a scout, I was a cub. I was one of the founding members of my local cub pack in Shirley, Solihull in fact, and then I was a scout and I was a venture scout briefly, and briefly a Cub Scout leader. Wow. An inspiration. Actually, I was just an example of what not to do. That's why I was a particularly good Cub Scout leader. But no, I spent a long time in the Scout movement and loved it.
Last Sunday, when on the Top Gear, you were saying about how much you liked camping and enjoyed camping.
I love it still very much so. I'm my happiest in the Lake District being Rainbow. Genuinely am. That's not. I actually am. I love doing it. So I think it's really important. I think as the world becomes increasingly digitised and high, that's wonderful. They're all great, and all the communication. This is possible now because of all of that. But equally, it's very important to remain rooted and to remember that. Yeah, but it's also important to know just how to get along and how to strip it back down to basics sometimes, which I really enjoy. I went on a lot of trips, and I used to love night hikes, which we used to do quite a lot of in my troop, because you kind of hate it and love it, and it's really good when it's over. And it is a lesson in life actually, to recognise when you're doing something that's going to be brilliant when it's over. When you're hiking through the night, you're another 10 miles to go and you're exhausted and you're not sure if your compass works and is that oriented right, and then you're thinking, oh no, but I'll be really, really happy when I finish this and I'll feel good. And I think that is useful because, trust me, quite a lot of what you end up having to do is nice when it's finished. No, I think it's really important that young people generally, whether members of the Scouting movement or not, feel that it's something they can access. Science is not going to become less important. For good and bad, it's going to become more and more important. And I wanted to make programs that just say, look, you don't have to be a scientist to take an interest in this. It affects all of us. It might be physics, just explaining why you get pushed back into your car seat when it accelerates, why things are heavy, why things do what they do. And it's not, you don't have to be a scientist to enjoy it. You can just take an interest in it. And I think that's going to be more and more important. I'm not technically a scientist. I know, it's amazing, everybody thinks I am. But I have an interest in it, a lifelong interest in it, and that's what I try and do through my programs, through Blast Lab, through everything else I do, just to say, look, don't be put off by, there are experts, there are people who might be the next great scientist. You might just have an interest in it and just be able to appreciate it as it becomes more important to all of us.
And of course, your enthusiasm towards science and young people has obviously got them to vote, all the beavers and cubs and scouts across the country to award you.
Well, thank you very much. Do I accept this?
Yeah, you can have a big
It is
badge.
quite large. It's just to make me look small.
I have a small one. I have a smaller version, which is
That's actually still quite a big badge. You can see how tall I really am next to that. Well, thank you very much indeed. And it does matter to me because it is something that through the various programs, it's really important just to say to everybody and anybody, you might not be the next great scientist, but science is going to matter to you. So it's best just understand a bit. Above all else, it's just really interesting stuff. Something else I learned in the scout years and years ago in scouting was just interesting stuff is good. You don't have to know it already, just finding out things is good. Is that okay?
Very good. Suits you.
Yeah, I reckon I'm going to into the BBC now and try this as my pass to get in instead. Thank you very much indeed. Well, I'm very honoured and proud to accept it. Do I sew this on my shirt? Can I actually wear it? I have got another shirt as well, so I might need more than one in that case. 2 shirts. Yeah.